think it's a ring. Yes! I just dug a ring!
When you're into metal detecting, this is what you're hunting for. And while it's not every day that Larry Ellinger and his friends at the Earth Club find a 14-karat gold ring, they have found a myriad of historic, nostalgic, and downright bizarre objects in their 2 decades of treasure hunting.
Early on when I was detecting, I started finding these aluminum cases, and it says 3 Merry Widows, price $1, selected and tested. So my father was alive at the time, so I went and I showed him one. And I said, do you have any idea what this thing is? And he said, it's a condom container. So from that point on, I look at my father a little differently.
Larry Ellinger and his wife Patty live in Rome, New York, a town surrounded by American historical sites, which makes it a rich hunting ground for prospective detectorists.
Now that I'm retired, I spend a lot of time metal detecting, and I belong to the Earth Metal Detecting Club.
Some of them like to hunt just coins. Other ones, they try to find the oldest things possible. And others like to beach hunt and look for the rings. That's what my wife wants me to do. She wants me to go to the beach and find valuable rings and expensive jewelry. That's what she wants. I have no interest in that at all.
In the spectrum of detectorists, Larry is a bit of a purist. A good find for him carries a story with it. A battle lost, a family heirloom, an old question answered. The hunt starts early in the day, coffee and jelly donuts, picking his weapon of choice from the arsenal of detectors in his basement, and driving out to a site. Joined by fellow club members Ralph, Lori, and Mike, Larry hopes the site they chose for this particular hunt will yield some good finds. Using archived maps, the group looks for old roads or buildings that would be heavily trafficked at the time. Each detectorist relies on primarily 2 pieces of equipment, the metal detector and the pinpointer. The detector usually consists of a handheld unit connected to a sensor probe. That sensor probe creates a magnetic field that is altered when in close proximity to metal. Discriminators added to the handheld device provide a number value for each type of metal, allowing detectorists to identify the makeup of their find and decide if it's worth digging.
There shows you that there's a nice target there. Probably a bottle cap or a penny though.
The detector will increase the frequency of its beep until it is hovering directly above the object. Once it's dialed in, the second essential tool is then brought into play.
This is a pinpointer, and what it does is that you can hear it as the metal thing gets closer, it goes solid and it's going off. So whatever it is, and hopefully it'll be something shiny.
Detecting also has its own set of risks, as Mike Parker will tell you.
One time I got bit in the butt by a dog, so I learned never to turn your back to a dog. I got permission to metal detect this one site, and it turned out I asked the groundskeeper, who denied it when the owner showed up, and so I got arrested for trespassing. My sentence was community service, and the superintendent of the town had me metal detect around an old historical site. So everybody in our club wanted to come get arrested so they could join me.
Although the club usually searches historical sites, they also receive distress calls from friends and strangers alike asking for help in finding a missing possession.
So I get requests a lot to look for things. Septic tank covers, car keys, eyeglasses.
Lori Feely, the most recent club treasure hunter of the year, has a wall dedicated to these feats of reunification. At the scout camp, Larry and his crew have found a few Boy Scout brooches from the early 20th century and several rare coins. But the biggest find happened on the way out, as Lori was standing in the parking lot headed towards her car. Digging underneath a thick tree root, which he thought was just another coin, turned out to be far more interesting.
Oh, I think it's a ring. Yes! It's like a wedding band, silver.
Oh boy, you get it in the sun and it glares at you.
Under further examination, Larry and Lori determined the ring to be 14-karat white gold. A lucky find, even luckier with no discernible owner for them to return it to under their club rules of ethics.
It's definitely not a junk ring. It's a good one. It was a good find.
Lori has no plans on selling this ring at the nearest pawn shop or jewelry store. Value isn't monetary for these detectorists. Value is in the search, the story, and the memories packed into each immaculate display case.
What I have found as I do this more and more, my history is becoming peaked. So half of it is finding it, digging it out of the ground. The other half is the research to see what we have found.
And since Larry has found so much joy unearthing treasures left behind by others, he and his wife decided to share that gift and leave their own cache for future hunters to discover.
We did leave something. When we redid our kitchen, there was an old stovepipe hole up in the wall, so up in there I think we put a picture of ourselves, we put a letter, and we put some money. So someday somebody will find that. So that was more me though, but yeah.
So that will be our legacy.
Yeah.